Good morning, everyone, and it's wonderful that you're all part of this exciting initiative that I hope we're going to be partnering with one another for many years to come. Our basic job is to work out of future proof for water security in South Africa, in Southern Africa, and in the world. Now, you will all be familiar with the fact that we have been through a very dry period recently. This was on the back of an El Niño phenomenon that was the worst in 20 years for the world as a whole. What it has meant in South Africa is that we've had some of our worst drought experiences in recent history. What it has meant for Southern Africa is that we've had some of the worst drought experiences in 50 years. What it has reminded us is how water scarce this part of the world is. All of the climate change scenarios that we've looked at has told us that this part of the world is getting hotter and it's getting drier. So our water fortunes will continue to be at risk if we don't do something about it now. What is the thing that we should be doing about it now? The first is we have to examine the way we're using water currently. You and I live in a country that is the 30th driest country in the world. The world average use for water is 177 litres per person per day for all of the collective use that we do together. You would think that as the country that ranks at 148 out of 180 countries in the world with regards to per capita water availability, that we would do much better than that, but here is the reality. We in fact use 235 litres of water a day. We have to come up with innovative ways to organize, to augment our demand management efforts. We need to be much more water wise. We need to be much more water conscious. We need a technology toolbox that helps us to be less demanding on the water resources than we currently are. We need to be efficient. In addition to that, we need to be much more innovative around the supply options for water. To date, we have primarily used the surface water, to some extent the groundwater, and we need to be much smarter about the way we use groundwater going into the future in a sustainable way. And we've relied on dams and pipelines to get water to where we want it to be. We cannot go further than this. We are living in a country where 90% of the reasonable dam sites are already gone. While there is some potential in the rest of the Southern African region, of course, this too will reach a saturation in a short period of time. What we need to do is to rapidly expand the options that are available for us to have good supply of water. This means, in addition to the water demand management and conservation measures, that we need to invest in desalination, for example, at scale. We need to organize for wastewater treatment so that wastewater, either current wastewater or fossil wastewater around us, is used to effect as a freshwater resource. We need to organize ourselves in a way that we do this wastewater treatment in a manner that defies, that overcomes the current constraint around the high energy budget associated with it. And this is more than possible. We need to organize for localized harvesting of water so that we don't always have to build large dams. We can harvest water in our own houses, around our own buildings, underneath the pavements that we walk. All of these are places where water can be stored very, very safely, and we need to get into that mode. But beyond that, we need to find smart ways, and you are the people that will give us the smart ways on how we can reuse the resources that we currently have, so that we use water not once or twice or 3 times, but 7 or 8 or 9 times before we return it back into the stream, and in a manner that organizes for us to have a water-sensitive view of the world, in a manner that organizes for us not to expand our footprint as we put wastewater back into the system, but minimize that footprint as we treat the water and put back good quality water back into the system. Is this a far cry? It can be. It can be if we rely on the current knowledge and the current toolboxes to get us a bit better into the future, or you can make that difference. You can introduce, through your innovation, through your lateral thinking, the step changes that we need, the new disruptions in the solutions that we need, so that we can sit down 20 years from now and talk about a time when water was a painful topic, whereas 20 years from now it could be a topic where we can say we have sufficiently organized for our water security in the world. It is no longer a constraint to development. It is no longer a constraint to human dignity, and we can start building on that platform. But whether or not we're able to say that depends on what you are able to start today. So best of luck with today's deliberations. Best of luck with the lateral thinking that is required. And be sure that the Water Research Commission will support you. Thank you.